gridlock everywhere you go. Congestion takes over Linko's roads not only during the morning and evening rush hours, but also during weekends and holidays.
I don't drive anymore because it's so frustrating. You can't get anywhere on time.
Traffic jams are nothing new for Linko residents. The outlet mall here is among the most popular attractions among tourists in New Taipei. In 2024, it opened a second building, which draws a large volume of shoppers and traffic. The overburdened road network is a major grievance for locals.
Everyone gets off the highway and moves along Zhengxiao Road to later turn left into Wenhua Second Road. That left turn becomes the first bottleneck. Then they get to the car park, and that becomes the second choke point. Then the second car park becomes the third problematic area. In just one road, we have 3 spots prone to congestion, which slows traffic to a standstill.
Linko was originally established as Taiwan's first planned community in order to relieve overcrowding in Taipei. Over the past few decades, construction projects have abounded, establishing the district as a hub for shopping and entertainment. Though homeowners have seen their properties increase in value, they say traffic has only grown worse.
If I have to go past the traffic light on Wenhua Second Road, I'll have to wait at least 3 to 5 minutes. Before, it took just 30 seconds.
Mr. Chang relocated to Linko from Taipei, attracted by the open space and the promise of a comfortable and relaxing life. What he hadn't expected is that a massive shopping center would open just 3 years after he moved in.
Before, there wouldn't be any traffic wardens, but now they're here directing traffic every day. Linko is far out of the way within Greater Taipei, so most people drive here. Look, it's still congested.
And it's not a phenomenon exclusive to Linko. Shopping centers and department stores all around Taiwan bring with them heavy traffic, making jams common on weekends. Since the traffic mayhem is caused by the shopping center, what are they doing to mitigate the problem?
这个地方是我们的那个2馆的中央监控室。
The outlet mall in Linko has some 3,000 parking spaces and a control center to keep traffic flowing. Staff manage the number of available parking spots and work with the National Highway Police Bureau to monitor highway conditions and respond to them.
We have measures in place for when we're at 95% capacity. If there are just 100 spots left in parking lot 1 or 53 in parking lot 2, we consider them full and we prevent more cars from entering. So, for example, if parking lot 2 is full, we'll guide cars to parking lot 1 and vice versa.
行管中心通知西上，目前停车场已满，请协助管制，引导车辆至一馆停放。
2016年に1館が開幕しています。
We learned from our experience when we opened the first building in 2016. When we opened the second building, we tracked traffic conditions from the control center. We also monitored flow management, issuing instructions where necessary to ensure cars kept moving and to minimize the impact on nearby traffic. That was our strategy for the opening of the second building.
我们在这个做交围的一个关键的重点就是。
The key goal is to segregate the cars accessing the parking from road traffic. During the planning stage, it was decided that the plot should be set back to create one more lane for cars entering the parking lot. The idea was to reduce the impact on road traffic.
Though these measures tackle traffic jams at parking lots, the crux of the problem actually lies somewhere else.
都红色的。对，红色这边完全都塞住。都是哪里？现在是什么路口？这里是文化2路嘛，这边是忠孝路。
It's here at an intersection 500 meters down the road from the shopping mall. Some cars are going straight, others are turning left, and others doing a U-turn, but with no one directing them. Everyone is at a standstill in the middle of the road. It's a true test of patience for shoppers and for Linko residents heading home.
顶多你开车5到6分钟而已。
It would take just 5 or 6 minutes, but in the current conditions, it might take 15 minutes. It's 2 to 3 times slower.
Local governments require large-scale commercial developments to conduct traffic impact assessments and to provide solutions to mitigate the impact on local traffic and pedestrian safety. But these plans often fall short when they are implemented, one of the reasons being that operators underestimate the amount of shoppers they'll attract.
这些数据都是历史，这是过去的资料。
The data they use is historical, from before the development. They also consider other similar cases, but the assessments don't take into account whether the shopping center will be particularly popular or whether the number of shoppers will greatly exceed the expectations during certain events. The data should be compounded. Currently, the expected foot traffic is calculated based on floor area, but that just uses an average value. In reality, there are times that the number will be higher. If you underestimate the volume of people, you end up with a lot of traffic problems.
New Taipei now requires the outlet mall to dispatch security guards and volunteer traffic wardens at times with heavy traffic, such as lunch and dinner.
以假日来说的话，我们现场会有10个保全人员。
On weekends and holidays, we have 10 security guards on duty at parking lots 1 and 2. We also have 13 volunteers directing traffic. We do our best to avoid congestion in the area.
Large shopping centers bring with them traffic. Some say they should be built only on the outskirts, far away from the city center. Others say the government should impose congestion charges. Experts say operators should be the ones finding solutions.
我举个例子了哈，有些卖场呢会发给一些。
For example, some stores offer subsidies to customers to cover parking expenses. Shoppers that take public transport could perhaps also get subsidies like that. There must be some incentives that make people be willing to cooperate.
所以如果我们把这些商场
Even if you build shopping centers far away, customers will still have to get there somehow. Even more people might drive there because that might be the only option. That puts a bigger burden on roads to the mall. But if the outlet is near public transportation, such as an MRT stop or a high-speed rail station, more people will get there by MRT or high-speed rail. That reduces the impact on road traffic.
Public transport sound like the answer to the problem, but implementation is not easy. Since Linko is far away from the city center, MRT and bus services are rather limited, and many shoppers still opt for driving.
Linko is on a plateau. The buses that service the area have to go via the highway, where it is forbidden to carry standing passengers. That means buses are often at full capacity, and even then, it's not enough to meet demand. Rail transport is also insufficient. That's why shoppers take the car here.
But as in most cases, the key to solving traffic problems caused by shopping centers is foresight. Experts say the long-term impact of such developments should be considered, and not just on the front of traffic. They say that if economic development is the sole biggest concern, transport problems will inevitably rise.
主管机关应该就在那个交围。
During the traffic planning stage and the traffic impact assessment, the competent authority should convene with the committee and offer a comprehensive overview of the situation. For example, if there are any similar projects coming up, or if there are other large-scale developments underway in the area.
审查单位通常，如果是基于
If the relevant authorities are more concerned about the economic benefits of the project, such as higher real estate and land prices, they may be more lax when conducting the assessments. That's no good because in the end, traffic congestion or its lack thereof will have a big impact on the quality of life in the area. I think it is a factor that should be prioritized and thoroughly assessed.
If a mall were to open near your house, would you be excited to go on shopping sprees or worried about traffic mayhem? In Linko, the answer is quite clear.